How many times can a person make the same mistake? Sometimes the answer is more than we think, because hope can be stronger than memory. Psychologists call this repetition compulsion. Something Freud noticed: humans repeat even painful experiences. Why? Because the unknown feels more frightening than familiar pain. How many times can they make promises and break them? And every time saying, "This is the last time," feels so easy. But when they promise, in that moment they truly believe it. Because between intention and action, there's an abyss. This abyss is filled with lack of awareness. A person who cannot see themselves cannot change themselves. Does that sound familiar? When your heart says leave, your mind says give it one more chance. In this inner war, fear usually wins. Fear of being alone, fear of being wrong, fear of regret. But this isn't just about relationships. Sometimes we live this cycle at work, in family, even within ourselves, because patterns are woven in our childhood. However love comes, we recognize it. However pain comes, we get used to it. And as adults, we repeat these patterns because they feel like home, familiar, safe, right? No, familiar is not always safe. The brain can change, but this change doesn't happen by pressing a button. This is called neuroplasticity. The brain learns through repetition, and it transforms through repetition. But here's the critical point. You cannot build a new path without dismantling the old one. You can't change in 21 days. This is a popular lie. Real change, average 66 days, sometimes 8 months, sometimes years. And during this process, the old pathways in the brain resist because they conserve energy. They're automatic. Building new pathways requires energy, requires attention, requires consciousness. Because change is hard. It makes people uncomfortable. It breaks their comfort zone, and it's a long process. This process requires patience, and most people don't like patience. But the real reason is deeper. Change threatens identity. Saying "this is who I am" is both an explanation and a prison. Psychologists say people will ignore reality just to remain consistent. This is called cognitive dissonance. The brain doesn't like contradiction. It gets uncomfortable, so it chooses either change reality or change yourself. And changing reality is easier. Lying, denying, blaming others. But there are people who do change. What separates them isn't talent, it's courage. The courage to hit rock bottom. The courage to look in the mirror. The courage to say, "I was wrong." Common traits of people who change. First, they accept pain. Change hurts. They know this, and they don't run. Second, they get help because no one can see their own darkness alone. Third, they start small. They don't try to change everything at once. They just change one thing, but they truly change it. Real strength is choosing not to hurt others, being able to stay silent when angry, being able to stop when you're right. It's being able to choose not to use your strength. That is maturity. But understanding this takes time, because youth measures strength through action, hitting, speaking, proving. Maturity measures strength through choice, not hitting, staying silent, letting go. Marcus Aurelius says, "The best revenge is to not be like your enemy." Do they truly want it? Or are they just running away from consequences? Because between wanting to change and doing it, there's a massive chasm. Everyone wants to change, but very few are willing to pay the price of change. What is the price? Letting go of your old identity. Stop saying, "I've always been this way." Losing old friends, because when you change, they become uncomfortable. Accepting loneliness, because the process of change is a very lonely path. If the answer is no, accepting this hurts, but it is the truth. Can you change? If you're asking this question, you've already taken the first step, because awareness is the beginning of change. But careful, awareness is not enough. Action is required. Let me leave you with one final thought. Life is not about being perfect. Life is about growing, and growing sometimes means shrinking. Shrinking from ego, from pride, from old beliefs. Socrates says, "The only thing I know is that I know nothing." This is true wisdom. giving up certainty, giving up judgment, and continuing to ask questions. Maybe answers won't come immediately. Maybe they'll never come. But asking questions is already an answer, because the person who asks continues to search. And searching is living.